Let's jump right into it. And I want to dig into approaching self-service and, more importantly, just talk about one of my very favorite subjects and obviously a big focus of our team here at Arroyo 360. It is literally part of every client conversation. You're in some of those. It provides some of the very highest ROI for businesses. And it also, interestingly enough, introduces tons of organizational questions and some prickly pear topics that require a bit of maturity to address. Erik, you lead the charge on these subjects, very important subjects at your company. Peel back the curtain on how you view and address self-service and AI, in particular at RingCentral.
Yeah, certainly. So I think RingCentral probably has an interesting take on this. And it really began with redefining the customer journey. I think historically contact centers have thought about the customer journey. The moment a customer picks up the phone and calls us, that's when the clock would start. However, over the last, call it 24 months, we've really moved that timeline back. And we want to start the clock the second the customer has a question pop into their head, right? It could be, where is my order? It could be, what time is the store open to? Who won the ball game last night? Whatever that case is, right? We want to start solving with that information right then and there. And that extends all the way to what's happening on the website, what's happening in the Google search. And what we've learned is the better we control those upstream activities, the bigger the impact to the contact center in doing things like reducing call volume, even just having happier customers who call in because they're not frustrated. Those qualitative benefits are, just incredibly both hard to account for, but also the benefit to fixing that exponential. And so we've developed a multi-stage solution at RingCentral that really allows the customer, as they go through that journey, to keep feeding them additional information to get them to their ultimate goal. And it's been very successful so far.
That's great. I think that journey, you've mentioned that a couple of times, is so critical to unpack. When it comes to customer journey, we have a process within our company at Arroyo 360. It is actually called the ActivateCX framework, and it works to kind of get to the context of the story. And we found, and you may have seen this, most people turn to a journey mapping tool or process. And we've actually taken a different approach, doing more of a story, doing more of a journey story, because we feel it is more verbose and easier for people to articulate. And even though like the visualization and the cool lines and flow that you see from a journey map may be inspirational, it's a lot of times not very actionable. And so we really found that journey is at the core of everything. How you define journey can not only be a process of identifying it, but also a means of uniting the company and uniting people's vision of it. And so the more that they can speak to it, the more that we can define what an on-site experience looks like at a touch point, and then what a back office experience looks like in terms of the mechanics of plugging it together.
Yeah, 100%. And maybe to add on top of that, I think one of the biggest evolutions that we've seen is that call centers and marketing teams have to work closer together than ever. We're starting to infringe on their world, hopefully help their world a little bit. But as the customer, again, going back to the example of them having a question, right? What are they going to do? They're going to pull out their phone and look for the answer. Some type of Google search, that's going to give them some information. Like, how can we make that information perfectly accurate? Or if they require additional steps, how do we drive them directly to the point in our website or domain where the rest of that long form content lives? And then the biggest piece, as you alluded to in the beginning, is then how do we intelligently deploy the AI to clean up, right? Let's say the customer hasn't been able to self-serve. How do we then bring in the AI intelligently in a very symbiotic way to the rest of the journey that's contextual, so that we can answer those final questions and, again, get the customer living the life, or getting them back to living their life, which is what they're hoping to do. Mm-hmm. And so it's been interesting, and it's certainly expanded the conversation and the number of people within a company that we're talking to. We're not just solving for phone lines anymore.